Akala ko kasi before, pag landlord ka, kubra ka lang ng kubra ng pera eh, di ba? Hindi pala. I will share with you hidden costs of being a landlord. Yung meron kang property, tapos paparentahan mo siya. Sa'yo yung property. So, yung mga costs na sasabihin ko, these are the costs outside the cost of buying the property or pagpapakonstruct niyang property mo. Yung mga i-share ko, based on experience lang. I've listed here 9 hidden costs and pag may maisip ako along the way, sasabihin ko na lang. Okay? Let's start. Number one, yung pinakamasakit, dun natin simulan, which is the vacancy cost. Yung cost involved kapag wala kang tenant. Kasi, syempre, pag wala kang tenant, tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung mga fees mo eh. You still pay amortization, kung naka-loan yan, utilities, yung bills, tuloy-tuloy din yan. Kahit walang nakatira. And at the same time, parang nalulumay yung place mo kasi walang nakatira dun eh. So, no one's taking care of it. So, yun yung pinakamasakit is the vacancy cost. Next would be number 2. Syempre, pag walang tenant, you will find for tenant. And this, I feel like a hidden cost. Di masyado napapansin. But when you look for tenants, nagpo-post kasi ako sa mga marketplace, tapos nag-a-ads ako. And yung ad, sometimes you have to run it like once, twice before ka makahanap ng tenant. And it would entail a little bit of cost kasi may bayad mag-run ng ads sa mga social media platforms para makahanap ka ng tenant. Pero very minimal lang naman. But still, hidden cost yan, feeling ko. Number 3, kung hindi talaga mag-work yung marketplace mo, tapos you want it to be easier for you na makahanap ng tenant, may mag-asikaso, then hidden cost would be the agent's fee or the broker's fee or the commission. Kasi usually, cost na yon 1 month worth of the monthly rent. And di ba sayang? Kasi kung makahanap ka naman on your own, then at least yung buong lahat ng yon sa'yo. But for some naman, ayaw na ng hassle ng mga landlord, gusto nila na may maghanap na for them, then they're gonna look for an agent or a broker. Tapos yung broker na yung maghahanap ng tenant, tapos as a fee, yung commissions nila would be 1 month worth of rent sa kanila mapupunta. Number 4 would be your time. Kung hindi ka magte-tenant, tapos nakapag-ads ka na, syempre, para maparentahan mo yung place mo, you have to view it to the potential tenants. So, magpapa-view ka, pupunta ka doon, nilinisin mo, magpe-prepare ka, may kipag-chika-chika ka. Syempre, ako, like in my case, doon sa past tenants ko, ako talaga yung nagpapa-view ng unit and I wanna feel yung vibe nila if we match. Kasi, syempre, that's my property and I want someone who will take care of it and someone na pakiramdam ko hindi mahirap ka-transaction. I wanna choose someone who I can easily talk to and yung alam mo makakapalagay ang loob mo. That's why I choose to do it myself. But, syempre, if you choose to do it yourself, then your time is important because time is gold. So, that's a hidden cost for me. Next would be number 5. Syempre, yun na, meron ka ng tenant. Papaview mo, okay na, magsasign na kayo ng mga contract. Syempre, before kayo mag-sign ng mga contract, kailangan mo pa-print. You have to print the contract. And pag na-print mo na yung contract, nakapagpirmahan na kayo, ipapanotaryo mo yun. Pagka panotaryo mo, syempre, pag panotaryo, may bayad yan. Roughly around 300 to 500 pesos per contract. Tapos, kung paparenew yan sila every year, then every year magpapakontract ka, tapos magpapaprint ka. Syempre, wala kasi yung printer eh. Kaya pag papaprint, feel ko hidden cost. Hindi mo yung napapansin eh. Unless may printer ka. But yeah, for some na walang printer, yan, kailangan mo pa-print, tapos magpapanotaryo ka pa. So, next would be number 6. Kung paparentahan mo, ako, nagparenta ko ng fully furnished na unit. So, say for example, magpaparenta ka ng bare, rar. Magpaparenta ka ng unfurnished or semi-furnished na unit, kailangan mo pa rin bumili ng a little bit of furnitures. And yung unang furniture, yun yung medyo masakit eh. Kasi, syempre, bibili ka ref, bibili ka microwave, aircon, electric fan, panluto, or whatever. Yung mga furnitures that needs to be in the unit para maparentahan mo siya as fully furnished. And, syempre, pagka fully furnished mo yan ipaparenta, mas malaki yung bayad dyan, mas malaki yung rental fee if fully furnished. So, the initial cost of buying the initial furnitures, yun yung medyo masakit. Furnitures and appliances. Hidden cost siya. Kasi sa umpisa, kala mo, sakto lang eh. But if you want to have your place rented a little bit more, mas competitive siya, then at least maraming tenant na naghahanap na lipat na lang, damit na lang yung dadalhin. So, that's a cost for me. Number 7, syempre, di ba, may mga furnitures ka, may mga appliances ka, and at some point, hindi naman habang buhay ang lifespan ng mga yan eh. Masisira din yan. And pag nasira yan, what do? You have to replace or repair whatever fits the most sa situation ng appliance mo kung anong papagawa mo dyan. So, yung pagpaparepair or yung pagpapalit ng mga furniture, that's additional cost kasi that's the natural wear and tear of the stuff that you have inside the unit. And also the place itself, yung wear and tear niya. And at some point, baka malay mo, may mga masira na sila talaga. Kailangan mo na magpa-minor renovation para naman competitive pa din and pleasing pa din to your eyes at saka sa eyes ng mga magiging future tenant mo, yung place mo. So you have to really take care of it and consider yung mga natural wear and tear, the unit and the stuff, all of the things inside the unit. Next, number 8. So yung 8 for me would be the maintenance and repair. And separate pa yun sa previous ko na sinabi kasi yung maintenance and repair are the things na ipapagawa mo while you have the tenant there. So syempre, depende naman yung sa usapan mo ng tenant mo kung hati kayo or ikaw yung magbabayad or siya yung magbabayad. But it depends. Again, additional cost yun. Kasi syempre, pag nakatira sila doon tas may mga minor stuff na masira, depende sa usapan nyo kung sinong gagastos. Might be you, might be them. And last, syempre, at some point, matatapos yung contract nyo. And pag natapos na yung contract nyo, they will move out. And when they move out, ako, I'm so blessed to have beautiful, kind tenants last time yung umalis sa akin. And they left the place super good. Very minor, yung mga dumi and yung mga nasira. But still, even if ganon, I had to deep clean the unit. You have to pay for move-out cleaning, general cleaning, deep cleaning. Ready siya for next tenant. And yung next tenant mo, pag nakita yung place mo, gugustuhin nilang rentahan yun. So, sa lahat ng mga owners dyan, let's take care of our place para pagka pinarenta natin siya, hindi tayo babaratin ng mga tenants kasi may kita nila na ang ganda ng place, inaalagaan yung place. So, we really have to ensure yung cleanliness niya, na walang mga pests dyan. It's a cost that you have to pay regularly, annually, or every end of the contract. Again, it depends kung sino magbabayad niyan, hati kayo, siya ba, lahat, or whatever. But still, that's a cost that you have to take as the landlord. Okay, so yun. 9 na yun. And I think yung real estate kasi, it's a very good investment. Pero syempre, yung pagiging landlord, akala ko kasi before, pag landlord ka, kubra ka lang ng kubra ng pera di ba? Hindi pala. Kasi you have to be paying these things para ka magkaroon ng passive income or ng rental income. And yung pag-pay and yung pag-maintain ng property mo, it involves cost. And yung costs na yun, necessary yun para maparentahan mo yung place, para ka may passive income, para ka may kubrahin. So, if you're planning na bumili ng condo para parentahan, think about those costs. Kasi sometimes, baka isipin mo lang, bibili ka ng condo, amortization lang, pero yung mga costs na yan kasama yan lahat. Before ka magkaroon ng passive income, you have to think about all those things and run the numbers para you're sure na kaya mo yang i-maintain. Kasi hindi yan magiging passive income kung hindi mo yan kayang i-maintain. And yun, minaalala pa pala ko. 10, hidden cost to. Syempre, when you buy a property, imo-mortgage mo yan, papasok mo yan sa bank financing, syempre magbabayad ka monthly amortization. And most often than not, yung mortgage mo, mas malaki pa kaysa sa rental income mo. And sometimes, you just have to absorb that cost. Kasi at some point, if you come to think of it, yung property mo, 1/2 or more than half of the mortgage binabayaran ng tenant mo. And at the end of the day, sa'yo rin naman yung mapupunta. So that's your equity. So that's a cost na baka hindi mo pa na-consider, pero you have to absorb that cost. We have to absorb that cost. Kasi, ganun talaga Hindi mo naman pwedeng yung buong mortgage mo ipabayad mo sa tenant mo. Unless yun talaga yung valuation ng rental property dyan sa building nyo or what. So yan, naalala ko lang. So that's 10 pala. I hope those costs will allow you to run the numbers and to reconsider things. So for those who are planning to buy their properties, condo man yan or magpagawa ng apartment para parentahan, those are the hidden costs involved in being a landlord. At the end of the day, magkakaroon ka ng passive income, pero syempre, meron pa rin yung costs involved. What do you think? Gusto mo pa rin bang maging landlord? Ako gusto ko pa rin. So, my name is Suzanne. If you like this content, follow me for more. Thank you for watching. Bye. God bless. Boy.